How's it going, everybody? JP here, and thank you for joining me on day number 11 in my second annual 31 Days of Horror, where I review 31 horror films in 31 days. Today, I'm going to be reviewing another Stephen King film. I probably have one more planned for later this month. I kind of have a list of the films I want to get to, but I also left for some room for some randomness also. But I plan on doing at least one more Stephen King film. I really like Stephen King films in October, and the one that I'm going to be reviewing today is actually a first time watch for me, and it is Silver Bullet from the year 1985 with the tagline of When Darkness Falls, Terror Rises. And this film stars Corey Haim and Gary Busey, and the film is set in a small town of Tarker's Mill, and we have Corey Haim, who is a young boy who is in a wheelchair. He's paralyzed, I believe, from like the waist down, and he's 13 years old. He has an older sister who I believe is 15. She is the one narrating the story. Not a whole lot of narration, but I thought it was a nice touch and it fit well. Anyway, Corey Haim is named Marty, and he's stuck in this wheelchair. He has a motorized wheelchair, which is just cool as hell. It is so cool. It's just it really makes him seem like he's not handicapped. It makes him seem like he's not um, held back by his handicap. He isn't he's cool enough. It makes him cool, I guess, and you don't feel bad for him, which I thought was a nice touch, because normally when you have the kid in the wheelchair, or somebody who's disabled, it makes they go the sympathetic route where you feel bad for the character. There is moments of that when he's staring at his friends playing baseball, and of course he's staring at their legs and stuff because they could run and jump and dive, and it just looks, he's envious of that. But they don't go super sympathetic for this character, which I like that. It's because you immediately expect them to play up the poor Corey Haim in the wheelchair, poor Marty, and they don't do it. I like that. They did it just enough to where you still feel bad for the character, but it's not overdone. He has an alcoholic uncle named Uncle Red, played by Gary Busey, who he really has a close relationship with, and I was totally buying it. He seemed like the real cool uncle who was just trying to be buddies and pals with him, and didn't look at him like he was in a wheelchair, and just treated him like a person instead of a little kid. And You gotta like that in a character. Because I remember being a kid and being, you know, feeling like I was smarter and more capable than people sometimes gave me credit for. And you can tell that the uncle was one of those people who looked at him like a person, instead of a little kid in a wheelchair. So basically, there's a werewolf in the town, and they're trying to figure out who it is and how to stop him, and people are being killed left and right. That's basically the story. And you have Gary Busey, his nephew, uh, our main character, Corey Haim, and his sister trying to stop this werewolf. There's some decent, I was actually surprised at some of the gore, because I really wasn't expecting, for just some reason, I didn't from the beginning of the film, I just didn't think there would be any really any types of gore. The werewolf looks not super amazing. I've seen better, obviously. There's definitely better werewolves out there, but it was definitely good enough for the film. I liked the way it looked. So the werewolf was not a problem. Um, I like the setting. The setting was really cool. I like the 80s-ness of it. It's just not the same anymore. The cell phoneless days of it's awesome to watch. I really like the setting of this film. I love the vibe and the you know just the feel of it. And Corey Haim's awesome. I've always liked Corey Haim, and he's pretty good as the Marty character. Um, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed this one. It was a cool werewolf film. I'm glad I finally got around to seeing it. This was kind of out of print for a little while, and then they re-released it, so I was finally able to get my hands on it for $5, and it's well worth $5. This is a cool werewolf film. That it's probably in my top, 5 werewolf films now, because I really did enjoy this one. I love the relationship between Corey Haim and Gary Busey. The werewolf's cool, and there's actually a few moments of scariness too, I guess. Uh, yeah. So Silver Bullet, I really liked it. I would rate this film a 7 out of 10. It's definitely worth a watch. Check it out if you've never seen it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.